Stories and Documentary Network. Welcome viewers. In the pages of history, one empire stands as a testament to the ebb and flow of power, culture, and legacy, the Ottoman Empire. Before we embark on this journey through time, let's establish a foundation by understanding the very essence of the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire, pronounced as Ottoman, was a vast and influential state that spanned 3 continents, Europe, Asia, and Africa, for over 6 centuries. Established at the turn of the 14th century, the Ottomans would become synonymous with both the splendors of the East and the strategic importance of its geographical location. Nestled at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, the Ottoman Empire's geographical location played a pivotal role in shaping its destiny. Stretching from the heart of Anatolia, across the Balkans, and into the Middle East, the empire straddled key trade routes, connecting the East to the West. This central position not only facilitated economic prosperity but also made the Ottomans a formidable force in geopolitics. The Ottomans strategically controlled vital trade routes, fostering cultural exchanges and economic prosperity. With Constantinople as its jewel, the Ottomans secured a gateway between the Black Sea and the Mediterranean, dominating maritime trade. This pivotal position also made the empire a buffer between the Christian West and the Islamic East, shaping its role as a bridge between civilizations. As we embark on this exploration, our documentary will unravel the diverse tapestry of the Ottoman Empire. From its humble origins to the grandeur of its golden age, and ultimately, the challenges that led to its decline, we will delve into the political intrigue, cultural brilliance, and the complex dynamics that define the Ottoman narrative. Join us as we journey through time to understand the rise and fall of an empire that left an indelible mark on history, the Ottoman Empire. The story of the Ottoman Empire finds its origins in the nomadic Turkic tribes that roamed the Central Asian steppes. Fierce warriors and skilled horsemen, these tribes migrated westward, leaving an indelible mark on the lands they traversed. As the Byzantine and Seljuk empires waned, the stage was set for a new power to emerge, a power that would blend the strength of the Turkic spirit with the sophistication of settled civilizations. The Ottoman Empire was one of the mightiest and longest-lasting dynasties in world history. This Islamic-run superpower ruled large areas of the Middle East, Eastern Europe, and North Africa for more than 600 years. The chief leader, known as the Sultan, was given absolute religious and political authority over his people. While Western Europeans generally viewed them as a threat, many historians regard the Ottoman Empire as a source of great regional stability and security, as well as important achievements in the arts, science, religion, and culture. At its height, the Ottoman Empire comprised an area of about 5.5 million square kilometers, though much of this was under indirect control of the central government. The empire was founded by Osman I, Ottoman Empire. In the 16th and 17th centuries, the Ottoman Empire was among the world's most powerful political entities, and the countries of Europe felt threatened by the steady Ottoman advance through the Balkans. At the turn of the 14th century, a visionary leader emerged from the Anatolian frontier, Osman I, son of Ertugrul Bey. Osman laid the foundation for what would become one of the most formidable empires in history. Guided by a sense of destiny, Osman established the Ottoman Beylik, a principality that would serve as the crucible for the empire's ascent. Osman's charisma and military prowess soon earned him a loyal following, as his forces expanded their control over strategic territories. This marked the beginning of a dynasty that would endure for centuries, shaping the destiny of the Ottoman people. Osman's son, Orhan I, inherited not only the leadership but also the ambition to expand the Ottoman realm. Under Orhan's rule, the Ottoman territories expanded into Bithynia and Thrace, signaling the Beylik's transformation into a regional power. Yet, it was under Orhan's successor, Murad I, that the Ottomans would truly solidify their presence. Murad I's military acumen was evident in victories at the Battle of Kosovo and other crucial conflicts. These triumphs not only secured Ottoman dominance in Anatolia but also laid the groundwork for future expansions into the Balkans. The Ottoman Empire was no longer a fledgling principality but a force to be reckoned with, a force that would shape the destiny of the Eastern Mediterranean and beyond. The year is 1453, and Mehmed II, known as Mehmed the Conqueror, ascends to the Ottoman throne. A visionary leader with dreams of greatness, Mehmed set his sights on the heart of the Byzantine Empire, Constantinople. The city, fortified for centuries, stood as an impregnable symbol. The ensuing siege would become an epic clash of civilizations. After a relentless 53-day siege, the Ottoman forces breached the mighty walls, forever changing the course of history. Constantinople, a city that had withstood numerous assaults, fell into Ottoman hands. Mehmed the Conqueror's triumph marked the end of the Byzantine Empire and the beginning of a new era. From the conquest of Constantinople emerged another luminary, Suleiman the Magnificent. Suleiman's rule, spanning over 4 decades, is often regarded as the pinnacle of Ottoman power. Under his leadership, the empire reached unprecedented heights in both territorial expanse and cultural influence. Suleiman's military campaigns extended Ottoman rule into Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East, earning him the title, the Lawgiver, for his innovative legal reforms. His patronage of the arts, literature, and architecture further solidified the Ottoman Empire as a beacon of civilization. Central to the success of the Ottoman Empire was its robust military and administrative systems. The Janissaries, an elite infantry corps, formed the backbone of the Ottoman military, instilling fear in their adversaries. At the helm of the administrative apparatus was the Grand Vizier, managing the sprawling empire with efficiency. The Ottomans blended military might with administrative prowess, creating a well-organized and disciplined system that enabled them to govern diverse territories and cultures. As the Ottomans expanded their influence, they became patrons of a flourishing cultural renaissance. The Golden Age witnessed a fusion of Islamic, Byzantine, and Persian influences, giving birth to a unique Ottoman identity. Ottoman architecture adorned the landscape with majestic mosques and palaces. The intricate beauty of Ottoman calligraphy reached new heights, and literature flourished with the works of poets like Rumi and historians like Ibn Khaldun. The Ottomans were known for their achievements in art, science, and medicine. Istanbul and other major cities throughout the empire were recognized as artistic hubs, especially during the reign of Suleiman the Magnificent. Some of the most popular forms of art included calligraphy, painting, poetry, textiles and carpet weaving, ceramics, and music. Ottoman architecture also helped define the culture of the time. Elaborate mosques and public buildings were constructed during this period. Science was regarded as an important field of study. The Ottomans learned and practiced advanced mathematics, astronomy, philosophy, physics, geography, and chemistry. Additionally, some of the greatest advances in medicine were made by the Ottomans. They invented several surgical instruments that are still used today, such as forceps, catheters, scalpels, pincers, and lancets. In addition to gaining considerable territory, the empire extended its influence at sea. Selim I conquered the Safavid Empire, only to lose it soon after. The Safavids later defeated and conquered the Ottomans and captured Baghdad. It established a navy in the Red Sea that succeeded, at least for a time, in countering Portuguese influence on the spice trade. During this period, the empire vied with the emerging European colonial powers in the Indian Ocean. Fleets with soldiers and arms were sent to support Muslim rulers in Kenya and Aceh and to defend the Ottoman spice and slave trade. In Aceh, the Ottomans built a fortress and supplied huge cannons. The Dutch Protestants were helped by the Ottomans against Catholic Spain. The Ottoman navy also had much influence in the Mediterranean Sea, and trade flourished because of the stability afforded to shipping lanes. The Ottoman military was a complex system of recruiting and fief-holding. In the Ottoman army, light cavalry long formed the core and they were given fiefs called timars. Cavalry used bows and short swords and made use of nomad tactics similar to those of the Mongol Empire. The Ottoman army was once among the most advanced fighting forces in the world, being one of the first to employ muskets. The famous Janissary Corps provided elite troops and bodyguards for the Sultan. Established in about 1300, the Janissary consisted originally of slaves but later of non-Muslims boys conscripted between the ages of 5 and 14. Highly trained and disciplined, their conversion to Islam was encouraged. The soldiers led almost Spartan lives and until 1566 were celibate. However, they were well paid and after retirement many became scholars and senior administrators. Albanians, Serbs, and Bulgarian boys were especially favored. Realizing their own power, the Janissaries became increasingly wealthy and demanding and at times were able to control the Sultan, exercising power through him. After the 17th century, however, the Ottomans could no longer produce a modern fighting force because of a lack of reforms, mainly because of the corrupted Janissaries. The abolition of the Janissary Corps in 1826 was not enough, and in the war against Russia, the Ottoman Empire severely lacked modern weapons and technologies. The modernization of the Ottoman Empire in the 19th century started with the military. This was the first institution to hire foreign experts and which sent their officer corps for training to Western European countries. Technology and new weapons were transferred to the empire, such as German and British guns. The empire was successful in modernizing its army. However, it was still no match against the major Western powers. By the end of the 19th century, the empire was weakened to a great extent. Economically, it had trouble paying back loans to the European banks. Militarily, it had trouble defending itself from foreign occupation. For example, Egypt was occupied by the French in 1798, and Cyprus by the British in 1876, to name two instances. Socially, the advent of nationalism and the yearning for democracy were making the Ottoman population restless. Non-Turks were either revolting against the empire or agitating for independence. The Greeks revolted in 1821, the Bulgarians in 1876, Moldavia and Wallachia gained autonomy in 1861, and nationalism was growing in the Arab provinces, where a pan-Arab movement was also developing, and in Armenia. The Young Turks, in power from 1908 to 1918, were nationalists too, but their policies led to harsh treatment of non-Turks, especially of non-Muslims. They believed that the empire was too dependent on non-Muslims and that Turks were losing control of their own empire. Many of the earlier reforms were reversed. The Young Turks were involved in a series of military coups and counter-coups that resulted in a constitutional monarchy under which the Sultan now had little to no power. The Young Turks' nationalistic policies led to the secession of the Balkans and the Balkan War of 1910 to 1912. Between 1915 and 1917, Armenian unrest resulted in a ferocious policy of deportation and imprisonment during which thousands of Armenians died. This was also in retaliation against Armenians for aiding Russia against the empire. The series of events is referred to by non-Turkish historians as the Armenian Genocide or Holocaust, and remains the cause of controversy. The Young Turks' rule was increasingly oppressive. European powers were jealous of the Ottoman Empire on the one hand, and on the other saw it as feudal and backward compared with themselves. While European nations had developed parliamentary systems of government, they ruled their empires overseas with little or no reference to the will of the people. Nonetheless, they felt a moral superiority over the Ottomans, expressed by Tsar Nicholas I of Russia, who called Turkey the sick man of Europe. They wanted to divide the empire up among themselves, much as they divided Africa, but with no single power gaining too much territory, to the other's disadvantage. The bureaucracy of the Ottomans had become inefficient, but the empire had some strengths. Loyalty to the service of the empire was well rewarded. Several former slaves rose to become vizier. Race and ethnicity was generally no barrier to progress, and law was uniformly administered. The Ottomans saw themselves as Muslims, and understood Islam as a transnational reality. They reversed the earlier tendency within the Muslim world that saw non-Arab Muslims as less authentically Muslim. From the Tanzimat reforms on, Turkey increasingly looked to Europe for its models and ideas, and what has been called an Occidental Orientalism developed. Orientalism refers to the Western depiction of the Orient as backward, decadent, and static in contrast to the West, which is depicted as oriented towards the future, moral, and dynamic. The Ottomans started to share this analysis and saw little of merit in their own civilization. Eventually, however, it was the Young Turks' desire to retain the empire and to do so in a way that privileged Turks that resulted in its destruction. As the echoes of the Golden Age reverberated, the Ottoman Empire faced a series of challenges that would lead to its decline and eventual transformation. In this chapter, we delve into the factors that contributed to the unraveling of the Ottoman tapestry. The once mighty Ottoman Empire began to grapple with a myriad of internal and external challenges. Among the primary factors was the sheer size and diversity of the empire, making it increasingly difficult to govern effectively. As centralized power waned, various regions and factions vied for influence, fostering internal discord. Simultaneously, external pressures from European powers, new technologies, and geopolitical shifts further strained the Ottoman foundations, setting the stage for a period of decline and transformation. The Ottoman military, once the cornerstone of imperial power, faced a series of defeats that marked the erosion of its supremacy. Battles such as Lepanto and Vienna dealt severe blows, leading to the gradual loss of strategic territories across Europe, Asia, and Africa. The Ottoman Empire, which had expanded its borders through conquest for centuries, now found itself on the defensive, facing the reality of territorial contraction. A once thriving economy began to falter under the weight of mismanagement, corruption, and outdated financial practices. The empire's vast bureaucracy strained resources, while internal strife and factionalism further weakened its economic foundation. As economic woes deepened, so did the social unrest within the empire. The Janissaries, once a formidable force, became a source of internal strife, resisting modernization and reforms. Faced with mounting challenges, Ottoman leaders recognized the urgent need for reform. The Tanzimat era, spanning from the mid-19th century, marked a concerted effort to modernize and revitalize the empire. The Tanzimat reforms aimed at overhauling legal, administrative, and educational systems. New laws sought to promote equality, individual rights, and a more secular approach to governance. However, the implementation of these reforms faced resistance from conservative elements within the empire. The Tanzimat era represents a pivotal moment in the Ottoman trajectory, a period of attempted rejuvenation amidst mounting challenges. Starting in the 1600s, the Ottoman Empire began to lose its economic and military dominance over Europe. Around this time, Europe had strengthened rapidly with the Renaissance and the dawn of the Industrial Revolution. Other factors, such as poor leadership and having to compete with trade from the Americas and India, led to the weakening of the empire. In 1683, the Ottoman Turks were defeated at the Battle of Vienna. This loss added to their already waning status. Over the next 100 years, the empire began to lose key regions of land. After a revolt, Greece won its independence from the Ottoman Empire in 1830. In 1878, the Congress of Berlin declared the independence of Romania, Serbia, and Bulgaria. During the Balkan Wars, which took place in 1912 and 1913, the Ottoman Empire lost nearly all its territories in Europe. The 20th century dawned, and the Ottoman Empire found itself at the epicenter of global upheaval. As the Great War unfolded, the empire faced challenges that would ultimately shape its destiny and mark the end of an era. World War I, a conflict that engulfed nations far and wide, drew the Ottoman Empire into its vortex. Initially, the Ottomans aligned with the Central Powers, seeking to reclaim lost territories and strengthen their position on the global stage. The Ottoman military, under the leadership of Enver Pasha, engaged in campaigns across the Middle East and the Caucasus. However, as the war progressed, the empire found itself facing not only external foes but also internal strife. One of the darkest chapters in Ottoman history unfolded during World War I, the Armenian Genocide. In a systematic and brutal campaign, the Ottoman government, under the cover of war, orchestrated the mass deportation and extermination of the Armenian population. The consequences of this tragedy would reverberate for decades, shaping international perceptions of the Ottoman Empire and leaving scars that persist to this day. As the war drew to a close, the Ottoman Empire found itself on the losing side. The Treaty of Sèvres, signed in 1920, marked the formal dismantling of the Ottoman Empire and the redrawing of its borders. The treaty imposed severe territorial losses on the Ottoman Empire, ceding vast territories to various European powers and carving out new nations from its once grand domain. In the wake of the disintegration, a charismatic military leader emerged, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk. Recognizing the urgency of reform and rejuvenation, Ataturk embarked on a mission to establish a new and secular state, the Republic of Turkey. The Turkish War of Independence, fought between 1919 and 1922, led to the abolition of the Ottoman Sultanate and the establishment of the Republic in 1923. Ataturk implemented a series of sweeping reforms, modernizing Turkey's legal, educational, and political systems. His vision aimed at forging a nation that would rise from the ashes of the Ottoman Empire, a nation that embraced progress, secularism, and democracy. Despite the ambitious agenda of its leaders, in 1914 the Ottoman Empire, which at its height had surpassed its European rivals in wealth and power, now lagged behind all the great European powers in economic, technological, and military capacity. Reform was also undermined by emerging Turkish nationalism. The Young Turks championed not only the idea of Turkish nationalism within the Ottoman Empire but also pan-Turkic ideals, the reunification of the ethnically or culturally related Turkic populations of the Caucasus and Central Asia under Ottoman rule. This stance, and its explicit elevation of Turkish identity above all others, was at odds with the realities of a multinational empire and served only to inflame age-old ethnic and religious tensions between the various Ottoman subject peoples. The pursuit of pan-Turkic aims all but guaranteed war with the Russian Empire, which now controlled most of Central Asia and the Caucasus. Far from shying away from this prospect, pan-Turkic proponents such as Enver Pasha, the Minister for War, actively sought out opportunities for the Ottoman Empire to engage in such a conflict on favorable terms. During the preceding 3 centuries, the Ottoman and Russian empires had fought more than a dozen separate wars against each other, with the Ottomans ultimately losing a substantial amount of territory. Russia's entry into the First World War on the side of the Allies helped to convince key Turkish leaders such as Enver Pasha to throw in their lot with the Central Powers. The echoes of World War I marked the end of the Ottoman Empire, but from its remnants rose a new chapter in Turkish history. At the start of World War I, the Ottoman Empire was already in decline. The Ottoman army entered the war in 1914 on the side of the Central Powers, including Germany and Austria-Hungary, and was defeated in October 1918. Following the Armistice of Mudros, most Ottoman territories were divided between Britain, France, Greece, and Russia. The Ottoman Empire officially ended in 1922 when the title of Ottoman Sultan was eliminated. Turkey was declared a republic on October 29, 1923, when Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, 1881–1938, an army officer, founded the independent Republic of Turkey. He then served as Turkey's first president from 1923 until his death in 1938, implementing reforms that rapidly secularized and westernized the country. As the pages turned on the Ottoman Empire, its legacy continued to shape the world. In this final chapter, we unravel the enduring impact of the Ottomans on modern Turkey, the cultural echoes that resonate through time, and their contributions to the global stage. From the ashes of the Ottoman Empire emerged a modern nation, Turkey. The founding principles of the Republic of Turkey, established by Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, sought to break from the imperial past, fostering secularism, nationalism, and a commitment to progress. Yet, the Ottoman influence remained deeply ingrained in the fabric of Turkish identity. From the language to cultural traditions, from administrative structures to the legal system, Turkey's modern identity is a nuanced tapestry that weaves the legacy of the Ottomans into its very core. Walk through the streets of Istanbul, and you'll find a living testament to the Ottoman legacy. The grand mosques and palaces, the vibrant bazaars, the traditional music and dance, all bear the indelible mark of Ottoman culture. Turkish cuisine, with its rich tapestry of flavors, owes much to the culinary heritage of the Ottomans. From succulent kebabs to delectable sweets, Ottoman recipes continue to tantalize taste buds, ensuring that the culinary legacy of the empire lives on. Beyond its borders, the Ottoman Empire left an indelible imprint on the Islamic world. The Ottomans were not only political leaders but also stewards of Islamic culture and learning. Ottoman architecture, exemplified by the grandeur of the Blue Mosque and the elegance of the Topkapi Palace, continues to influence mosque design and Islamic aesthetics worldwide. The Ottomans also played a pivotal role in the preservation and dissemination of Islamic knowledge. The geopolitical legacy of the Ottoman Empire is a complex mosaic that continues to shape the modern world. The redrawing of borders post-World War I laid the groundwork for the contemporary Middle East and Balkans. The emergence of new nations, the geopolitical fault lines, and the challenges faced by the region can be traced back to the decisions made in the aftermath of the Ottoman Empire's collapse. As we draw the curtain on this historical journey, the Ottoman Empire's legacy stands as a testament to the complexities of history. Modern Turkey, with its blend of tradition and progress, carries the torch forward. The echoes of the Ottoman Empire resonate in every corner, reminding us that history, even when seemingly distant, is a living force that shapes our present and our future. As our journey through the annals of the Ottoman Empire draws to a close, we've only scratched the surface of this vast and intricate tapestry of history. The origins of Osman I, the rise of the Ottoman state, these are but the first strokes in a masterpiece that spans centuries. We've explored the echoes of empires past, the emergence of a vision that transcended borders, and the birth of a legacy that shaped nations. The Ottoman Empire, with all its triumphs and challenges, has left an indelible mark on the pages of history. As we bid farewell, we invite you to delve deeper into the rich history we've only glimpsed today. Share your thoughts, insights, and questions in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel to stay connected with our ongoing exploration of the world's historical tapestry.